here. I
finally
keep
saw
trying to
the
get
first
him to go
poster.
on.
What's that?
I said, my brother's sitting here. I'm trying to get him to come on.
Camera shy?
Nope.
Nope. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I've watched
Thank
your
you.
stuff.
Oh, appreciate it. Awesome. So yeah, watching this last night, and I was dead tired when I started watching it, but it's like I got to stay awake for another hour or so, otherwise it'll mess up my sleep. And
Right.
man, it didn't feel like an hour match. A lot of people talk about Bret the Hitman Hart and the Iron Man match and all that with Shawn Michaels. I can't really sit through that match again. It's hard for me to sit through the whole hour without fast forwarding or taking a break or whatever it is.
Right.
This did not seem like an hour match, man. It just flowed so perfectly.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like I said, I'm only 40 minutes in, but when I stopped, I didn't realize I was 40 minutes in. And you're right, it does. It keeps flowing. There's no dead time or anything or extended rest spots or anything. It's just like one thing right after the other.
Yeah. And the timing was on everything. It was just, man, when's the last time you saw a match like this? It really, he keeps on, Alexander seems to think that he feels like he's a replica of Kurt Angle. And I see all those similarities, has a lot of the same move sets and all that kind of stuff. But
right.
I get the vibe off of him more of a Bob Backlund, even though he's got the Kurt Angle move set a lot and he's got the same singlet and all that. I just get that Family Guy thing and the good guy, where Kurt was never necessarily the good guy. He was just the Olympic hero.
Yeah. But seeing how you mentioned Backlund, those are the days where they would have those hour matches and be one thing right after the other. And it wasn't until, like you said, Bret and Shawn, that they did an hour long match again. So I would agree that, back when Backlund was defending the title in the 80s and stuff, they would go and have, or even Bruno Sammartino, they would have those hour matches and have everybody just sitting on the edge of their seats during them.
Yeah.
And that was the same vibe I got from this match.
And what was funny about it is that it wasn't the scheduled. I mean, it was obviously backstage, but it wasn't announced for the show. There was no hype for it. Chuck's in the house. Welcome aboard. Hum along if you can't sing along. I love that. Good evening to you as well. But my goodness, they used to do that kind of stuff all the time between Flair, Backlund, Bruno. The 1 hour, the Broadways were not unusual. Whereas now it's far and few between. And quite honestly, most people shouldn't be doing 1 hour matches. These two guys
they can barely do 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, not even about conditioning or anything. Just that's kind of like a limit for
the storytelling's not there.
Exactly. And they never repeated it. I think he did the C4 a couple of times, and Bailey hit, I think, 2 of his total destruction, whatever the hell he calls that thing.
Right.
But for those of you just joining us in the chat, welcome aboard. This is This is WrestleChat. Get it right. And we're just talking wrestling and shit, but in particular, Impact from last night. If you haven't seen it, the whole match is on their YouTube channel. Josh Alexander, Mike Bailey have a last-minute entry into Match of the Year candidate. And I'm thinking in my mind, what match would I say is better than this in the last 12 months? I haven't
seen one.
No, I mean, you can talk about Drew McIntyre and Roman, and no. I'm at a loss. I can't think of a single match. Definitely not in AEW. Stop it. If anyone wants to even throw that out there, you're kidding yourselves. If you're not watching Impact, you are missing the best wrestling out there.
And we discussed this last night between the two of us about would Impact be what it is if they were like AEW or WWE in front of the larger audiences, and I think it would do them harm, honestly.
Yeah, because I asked myself, how are they not drawing a bigger live crowd? How are they not on a better network? And yeah, Dixie Carter really stuck a fork in them years
Screwed the
ago, and it's
pooch.
been big time. And it's been a hard climb out of the hole she dug. But at the same time, it is the fact that only the cool people realize how good they are. And we don't want the rest of y'all
Right.
in here. It's the kind of thing. But my goodness, I've got some clips from last night. Again, if you guys haven't seen this stuff, these guys, man, this was unreal. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. We're going back an extra week, but yeah, again, this is Impact. If you're not
I
watching
watched this
Impact,
already today.
you got to, guys, if you're not watching Impact, it's the best wrestling program out there. They've got a solid roster. Their knockouts division is really just top notch. The guys are great, and their freaking storytelling is beautiful. So here's Eric Young, and at this point, I didn't know he's going back to WWE. And this is not the first time they've run this type of angle. They did it with Allie. And I keep asking myself, what are they ever going to do if they bring one of these people back at some point in time? But here's Eric Young sitting in like a interrogation room in a prison with Cody Deaner. It's the week after Eric got his ass whooped by Sami Callihan. And at the end of that program, he's laying in a puddle of his own blood, and the rest of Violent by Design is standing over him in a fashion of disapproval. Like, you're supposed to be our leader and you're losing. And here's Eric now in this improv of a interrogation room and talking about the sickness, which is losing, defeat. Can't allow that into Violent by Design. Now, normally at a moment like this, where you've got one of your main guys, especially the leader of the organization, riding off into the sunset for another promotion, you would probably do the same thing to do with Honor No More and just disband the group. But perfect.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, you're right. With like Honor No More, they just disbanded them. Here, they basically let Eric Young pass the group on to Deaner to be the leader of it.
Yeah, and they've already added Khan, formerly Connor, of the Ascension. And I'm not a big fan of Alan Angels in the group, but we'll see where it goes. And hopefully they'll add at least one other decent name in there. But just again, Cody Deaner's facials have always been solid, and him playing this badass role and all that. Chuck makes a point that Impact has a few good wrestlers. He says, I don't know if it's watching 2 hours. Chuck, have you watched have you watched 2 hours of that show in the last year? Because I am telling you, will be hard pressed to find a match that's not good. Even the matches, the squash matches, if you want to call them that, the enhancement matches, they're good matches. They get people over.
I mean, I felt the same way as Chuck, and then you finally was like, you've got to watch it, and so I got the YouTube subscription for 99 cents, which is a killer deal, and I'm now hooked on the storylines and stuff again because they are really good storytelling.
They're amazing stories.
And for me, that's more. I ain't going to say it's more important than the actual wrestling, but I like that aspect of it. I've always liked the storytelling aspect of it. And some of the storylines for AEW or WWE, yeah, they might have new little twists to them, but it's not original stuff like this. You wouldn't see somebody stabbing somebody else on WWE or, maybe AEW, but they wouldn't get it right.
Well, AEW would do it for real in the back locker room after the scrum.
Yeah, and then joke about it live on TV.
Yeah, exactly. You don't think that it had anything to do with that little shoot that they just did there?
Right.
Primetime, welcome aboard, buddy. We're talking about Impact Wrestling last night in particular, but just over the last several months, and how they are the promotion, in my opinion, that you've got to be watching because they are doing it right. I was so happy it worked because their first posters started flying for the January pay-per-view, which will be where I'm working at. So just seeing the posters is making me realize I've got like 2 major events we got to get through that are going to be nightmares, but it's worth it to see what's at the end of the tunnel. So, Chuck, you watched it about a month ago, and I'm trying to think what could you have seen on that show that wasn't good in particular? Because you had Honor No More, which has been a home run. They just recently disbanded the group, but they had a great run. You got, and here's the funny thing about them: they bring former WWE talent in that I couldn't stand in
Yeah.
WWE, but somehow
Yeah.
I love in Impact. Perfect example, Heath. I thought Heath Slater was just a waste of time, but I'm digging the redhead redneck.
That's because that's him. That's the thing with them. They're letting them be who they want to be.
Oh, so he's not a one-man band?
No,
Damn,
not at all.
Oh,
nah.
Well,
they got you on that one.
They got. You know who else got me on that one? These fuckers. I went to get my eggnog and I didn't see the words almond milk on the bottom, and I'm like, shit! I'm drinking this stuff. What the fuck is this? What's this cattle come in a bottle, man? It'll justify me drinking it since it's good for you now.
Yeah, but I mean, the team ups that they've done. I never thought Heath and Rhino together as a team would be any good, but they're fucking great together.
Well, remember,
they play off each other very well.
They were in WWE as a tag team.
Yeah, and I couldn't stand them as a tag team because it didn't, for me up there, it didn't work.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, I've always liked Rhino, so that wasn't a problem at all.
Right.
What's Chuck got here? I've always loved wrestling, so I try to give them all a chance. So I went back to Impact. But yeah, sorry, I disagree. AEW is better. You're right. We disagree. You're entitled to your opinion, though. Still love you.
Yep. I'll watch them all, honestly.
Well, here's the thing. I record them all, and Tommy does need to retire, man. He's looking terrible. he's got so many roles going on now. Love handles or like Pillsbury Doughboy. I don't know. It's just time. I mean, I get it. A lot of these guys wrestle with T-shirts on for a reason.
Right. That's why I changed my shirt before we went live. I wasn't. Yeah. No.
Didn't want to see all the extra muscles?
No, because they're not in the right places.
Oh, man. Well, if any of you guys already saw it, let me know what your thoughts were on the match. And if you think there's a match better than that for match of the year, help me. I really have been thinking about it for 24 hours. And I'm thinking to myself, what match have I seen that I would say was even as good as that, much less better? And I've got nothing. So if you've got something, let me know what it is.
And I know a lot of people out there will say Seth Rollins and Cody in the Hell in a Cell. Yeah, that was a great match, but that's like apples and oranges though. They didn't go 60 minutes. And
they couldn't go 60 minutes. Cody shouldn't have gone 5 minutes.
You're right. Yeah.
And I look at that match with a lot of adoration, if you want, simply because of Cody nutting up. Nobody else. I mean, going back in the NBA, back when Shaq and Penny were with the Magic here in Orlando and taking on the world and all that, and then Penny gets traded to San Antonio and goes on to proceeds to sit down on the sideline because his shoes won't fit right.
Yeah.
Shoes aren't comfortable. And he sat out games and Nike custom made shoes for him because his feet hurt. This son bitch is out there with a torn fucking pec.
And he ripped it the rest of the way off in the match.
Well, like they told him, you can't do it any worse than it is. It's done. So, but yeah, I mean, try to fathom. I mean, I don't think any of us have ever had that injury. But I can tell you right now, I can just imagine the level of pain that boy was going through. And he wrestled the friggin' match. So I give him points, and I look at that as a special match because a fake sport where the athlete in any other sport would not be playing, and he's out there saying,
Right.
"No, it's the main event. I got to play." That's Bobby Orr hockey there. That's broken ankle scoring the game-winning goal in the Stanley Cup.
Right.
But that doesn't
That's
exist
wrestling
no
in the Olympics with a broken freaking neck.
It is.
Yeah.
Speaking of wrestling in the Olympics, did you hear about Jericho? He wants pro wrestling to be an Olympic event.
How? What would you score it on?
You would score it, I guess, based on the same thing they do with floor gymnastics and things like that. On execution, on sticking the landing.
So you're going to have a bunch of high flyers then?
No, it doesn't have to be. I mean, look at last night. It wasn't a high flyer contest, but like we just got done saying, they made it look awesome.
Right.
And I'm still not entirely sure. I'll watch that match 2 more times, trying to figure out what parts of that really connected and which of it just looked really good. Because they did, like as we saw that Speedball Bailey there, the ultimate finish, where he caught him with the knees, didn't catch him flush with him. He let him glance off a little bit at the end, but he normally does that to guys when they're more on the ground prone. That's the first time I've seen somebody almost upright and take it.
Right.
It is not Christmas to me if I don't have eggnog, even with almond friggin' milk. Love the shit and the calories. I don't care.
We're old enough. We don't need to worry about it.
Well, I worry about it a little bit. I don't want to look like Tommy Dreamer. I can still go to a high school reunion and say, damn, I look better than all these fuckers.
Right.
I might not have been on the football team in high school, but I can get the cheerleader today. Only problem is she's a lot bigger too, so I don't want
her. Right.
Chuck talking about Claudio lost his front teeth. I think that was what, recently on AEW, right?
Mm-hmm.
Against whom?
No.
When
was it?
It was when him and Sheamus were tag team champions.
Oh, my brother said it was when him and Sheamus were tag team champions.
Oh, okay. And you see, that's one of those things where I would have recorded the show, but I did not like them as a tag team. I'm not a Sheamus fan. I mean, and I would have just fast forwarded through the whole match. And that's how I watch most WWE and most AEW. I'll stop on MJF and I'll stop on the Roman Reigns stuff and Sami Zayn. But other than that, there's not much I want to watch.
Right.
Titus O'Neil's lucky he didn't break his neck when he had his accident. What accident did Titus have? I know about Big E. What happened to Titus?
Oh, my brother said he slid under the ring.
Oh, during the Royal
Rumble. Yeah.
Oh, well, that was a hell of an entrance. Didn't he make fun of it by doing it again the next year or some shit?
I think so.
Either that or he came running down, then he took like a careful step over the mat. He basically made fun of it one way or another. I just forget how they did it.
Right. I'll have to go back and look and see.
That was the year also, I think, that Kofi botched his death-defying non-elimination moment by actually getting himself eliminated because he missed.
Right.
Now, here's something I totally agree with. And again, I'm sure the guy is super cool and fun to talk to. He's got the size. I just find him boring. He does nothing for me.
I don't know. I've really liked him with the other two, with the Brawling Brutes.
Oh, I can't get into it. First off, Butch has turned me off. It's like, that ain't fucking Butch. And why do you want him to be? He was so perfect as Pete Dunne, the bruiserweight. What's wrong with that? Why you got to make him look like a 1940s paper boy?
Well, he's kind of gotten away from that now. Since Triple H took over, he's kind of reverted a lot, not in name, but how he acts and stuff. He's not doing that. Let me at him, Scoob. Let me at him. He's
Sounds
more
like
of the Pete Dunne from NXT.
Like I said, I just can't get into Sheamus at all, and I just want Pete Dunne to go back to being Pete Dunne. Give him the maroon singlet and the Bruiserweight logos, and back to just being that badass brawler and the technician that he was.
All right, well, let me ask you about this because we discussed this before. You said you weren't thrilled about Austin Theory and the whole selfie thing. What about his change recently to I'm going to be this?
And this is what I was telling you even way back when, that whole selfie thing was a joke and they're trying to push him to the moon as an entertainer. The world has changed the same way it did when Hogan went to WCW and fans were booing the red and gold and he had to become NWO. You know, there was a time where that act is gone. And what McMahon was trying to force feed people had gone 20 years ago. He just never got the memo. It's not that Austin can't cut a great promo. It's not that he's not great in the ring. It's not that he doesn't have a look. He's got all the boxes checked. But he was basically Prince Pretty 2.0.
Right.
And it wasn't good on 1.0. Well, we got another critic in the house. I will disagree again. I think Theory, and especially now that they've given him a more reasonable look, and now he's just, we were all sitting there going, when he cashed in on the U.S. titling loss, we were all going, okay, he's fucked. And I thought to myself at that moment, if they're going to use this as a springboard for him to basically say, screw everyone, I'm doing it my way, and leave that character behind and just come out as a whole different version of him, it could work. And they've done it, and he's done it, and it is working. And I don't like the fact that he had to cheat to win the U.S. title.
How was that cheating? He fell into the pin. He didn't like low blow or anybody. Lashley speared Seth. He dropped down on top of him, and they counted the 3. There was no cheating there.
There wasn't a foreign object involved in that whole little schmoz or something?
Nope. Seth had him up in the suplex. Bobby Lashley speared Rollins, and as Rollins fell,
did something to Bobby.
Theory just basically dropped down. Huh?
But how did he get Bobby out of the mix? Something happened to Bobby.
After he speared him, he kind of rolled towards the apron, and as they started to count, Bobby tried to get back in and didn't make it in time. It was Bobby's fault that Theory's the champion now. Yeah.
I guess I don't remember that part happening that way. Felt like there was some sort of chicanery that took place, but all right, well then I stand corrected. But either way,
because I was really surprised that it was basically a clean finish.
The international object. And yeah, Chuck, I will agree with you. The only thing about the WWE that I like is the bloodline. I think everything about that right now is just on a roll, and it's one of those moments where as I watch this, I know in the back of my mind all good things come to an end, and I'm thinking, how are they going to end this? And it's going to be sad when it happens, but hopefully they do it well, so there's a big payoff in it, and it's just not something where they left it around so long, and it's like NWO red and black and green and yellow and the Latin World Order, and where you just milk it to the point where it's dead. So hopefully, but there's so much potential even after Roman.
Yeah, I think it will last. I think it'll last at least till WrestleMania. I think if it's going to blow up, it'll blow up then.
Yeah, and also, I don't think it'll blow up. I think it'll be Roman's out and Solo's the new man in charge.
I could
think
see
about
that.
how that. Yeah, think how that works. He's the younger brother,
Yep.
so that could definitely open some other doors. And then, isn't there some other member of the family in the pipeline there, or something like that? What is
Well,
what is Jacob Fatu's
Rock's,
relation?
he is a cousin, I think.
He is blood related, right?
Yeah. And then,
Yeah.
of course, you got the Rock's daughter down in NXT, too. So,
Yeah, that doesn't do a thing for me, man.
well, I'm just
I
saying,
mean,
we're
I
talking
know-
about
I know she's
what's in the pipeline. That's
Yeah,
what's in the
I mean-
pipeline.
she's early on and all that stuff, but I'm just. Then again, we started out with Rocky sucks, and look what happened. So we'll see.
Right.
I'll be shocked. Based on first impressions, I'll be shocked.
I don't like her with the group. I don't like Schism. I think they're Wyatt
It's
family fucking ripoff. I wish they would have put her with somebody else, anybody else but them. So,
Yep, I agree. What do we got here? Sibling animosity. Yeah, I mean, it's already
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, well, we've had the sibling animosity already with Jimmy and Jay when they weren't both on the same page with Sammy, but now that seems to, at least for the moment, and even then, that Sammy thing is going to come to a head, and it's going to be freaking glorious.
right.
Oh Lord, I'm still just. I was on a buzz after last night, man. When that match went off, and I was just like, "What did I just see?" I felt like the clock went back, and I'm like in 1980 again, and wrestling was good again, and it was just wow. I don't see it anywhere else. I just don't. They all have storylines and stuff. They're just not very good, and they're not very believable. Now, do I believe Eric Young was stabbed to death? No, I'm pretty sure he's not. But the fact that they will kill off a character that's leaving, as opposed to
you'd
just
think it was a soap opera or something.
Yeah. But it just, and I remember, and I didn't watch it much back at this point in time, but going back to when Rosemary was with, father, what's his name? Abyss's manager.
Mitchell. Yeah.
James Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yeah. So back when she was with him in TNA with Dixie Days, and they did the whole realm thing going into the dark realm. And I'm like, what is this fucking bullshit? And then they end up killing the bunny or Allie, whatever, Allie at the time.
Right.
And I wasn't watching it then, but the YouTube highlights would pop up, or Jim Cornette would be tearing it apart. And I would then go and watch what he was talking about just to see that segment or whatever. And it was just all trash. But now, and they haven't done a lot of that whole realm stuff with Rosemary, but they've done a little bit of it and just enough where it's entertaining. She's great. I mean, I feel like I missed a lot of time that I should have been paying more attention. She is so good. Jessica is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
They just feed off each other so well, and her and Taya Valkyrie are just their comedy gold. It reminds me of Santino when he was teaming up with the big Russian dude. What the hell was his name?
Kozlov.
Remember the Tea Party on Monday Night Raw?
Right.
And then Sheamus.
And see, when I heard that they were, when I heard they were teaming, I was like, Taya Valkyrie and Jessica. I was like, oh God, no. And then, like you said, I called him and saw him, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so fucking hysterical.
The banter between them, and then how Rosemary's kind of like the mom over there going, what are you doing? What are you doing? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. What we got here? The original Decay. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Good call.
Right.
Chuck.
Because it had Crazy Steve with them too.
Ooh, what a great question. Hum along. What is the biggest surprise of 2022 for y'all, wrestling related? That they still can't make a good wrestling game? No, that wouldn't be it. That wasn't a surprise at all. Person, place, thing, whatever. Let's see. Biggest surprise. That's a good one. Let's think about this one. Well, CM Punk coming back, although it wasn't not a surprise because they milked the shit out of that going all the way up to Chicago. Everyone knew he was coming out. But just the fact that he
I think
honestly,
I was going to say, honestly, for me, it was actually Cody leaving AEW and going to WWE.
That was
I figured he would. Yeah. I really never would picture him back in WWE, honestly. The way he got treated and stuff, I wouldn't have went back.
No. I'll tell you what the biggest surprise was. Geez, we're missing the friggin' headline here, aren't we? Vince McMahon leaving the WWF. I mean, we all thought he was only going to go out in a casket match when it was legit, when it was a shoot. So, yeah, I'm going to say Vince McMahon stepping out on the WWE. Didn't see that coming.
Right.
So, for me, that'll take number one spot. What about you guys in the chat? What would you say was your biggest surprise moment of 2022? And Lord knows there's plenty of stuff you could choose from. Yeah, sexual harassment bombshell.
Right.
And it's tough to defend yourself in that when you're on television making a girl bark like a dog on all fours.
Yeah.
And you can't say, well, it was part of the act because you were the writer as well. So you developed that whole angle. That was something that you didn't just sign off on. You thought it would be a good idea.
Right.
Oh, here's another good one. It's Sting! But he didn't come back in 2022, did he? Did he come in after January?
I think so.
Yeah, they did the snow entrance. So it's only been a year. It seems like he's been there longer.
That's because it's Sting.
Yeah, the ageless one.
I'm trying to think, what promotion hasn't he been in now?
Ring
of Honor? Yeah.
Well, he can be now, so give him some time.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't think he's been over to New Japan, though, either. So.
With WCW, he never went to New Japan at all? I mean, he might not have been on their roster, but he wouldn't have done like a tour of a few weeks? Or are you saying on a roster regular?
Well, the actual company, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Also, I know they've done Japanese tours and stuff, but I don't think New Japan was it around in the 90s? Maybe not in the maybe.
I know back then the IWGP was the main championship title that people were, when it came to Japan wrestling, that was like the main one.
Right.
Mexican Lucha Promotion, otherwise known as MLW.
Well, AAA too.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being facetious. NJPW. What? New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yes.
All right.
In the 90s. So.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I didn't really start watching until about the mid 2000s. So.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Collision in Korea was New Japan. That's right. The early days. But yeah, Sting has been around, and I mean, hell, he started out there with Bill Watts.
Yeah.
I mean, he's even done Mid-South. He did a little bit of time Mid-South with Jerry, and then he was over there in UWF. He really has been just at every friggin' place. I mean, he probably could have got AWA if they didn't go out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's still on the Telemundo channel. I haven't. I started recording it
Yeah.
regularly about 10 years ago, and I would watch it. Of course, I don't speak a word of Spanish, so for me to understand whatever storylines they were trying to get over, maybe whatever. The style didn't really resonate with me, but I gave it some time just because I wanted to see. When it comes to Mexico and Japan, they look on wrestling like we do the NFL. In that it is their country sport. It is what we are known for. We do it better than anybody else. And
Right.
they hold it on a different level of esteem than even we do here because we look at it more from the entertainment aspect. And they still, in many ways, consider it to be a legit sport. So
Right.
for that reason alone, I wanted to keep an eye on it for a little while and try and figure it out. But I never thought their stuff looked that good. Blade Runners looked so good physically, him and Hellwig. Yep, they certainly did. But Hellwig was fucking horrible. If you watch those Blade Runner matches, oh my God. Hum Along, it was a generic gimmick, but back then they all were. I mean, that was what got over back then. We're still talking, late 80s, early 90s. That was the thing. As long as you could put on a show, you could get past that. It's like, again, Barry Windham. No, there's no flash in him. But man, he was so good at what he did. When that bell rang, that son of a gun, man, what a just tremendous in-ring talent.
Right.
And one of the things that I've now come to like about him more, I didn't know at the time. I was also one of those people that would question why they never put the belt on him with Flair during those battles that they had in the 80s. And to come find out that they wanted to, but Barry's like, no, I'm only going to wrestle for a month or so. Then I'm going to take 2 months off and go to the farm, back on the farm. He really had the whole life balance thing at a young age. He knew he could always jump back into a wrestling ring and deliver a 5-star match. He could be a part of an upper mid to a main event. And the smartest thing about it, Jim Cornette says it all the time. How can I miss you if you don't leave?
Right.
So he never got stale because he wasn't around long enough.
And I think it was like he wanted wrestling as a part of his life. He didn't want it as his life.
Yeah, that's a good way of phrasing it. Chuck says, same here, but I like the aerial moves and costumes. The costumes you can't say nothing bad about. I mean, they've got some of the masks. Oh my God.
Right.
We look at the in-ring stuff that goes on in these shows nowadays, and you think you can't do anything else without killing someone. You've come off the top of steel cages that are 25 feet high and done triple corkscrew splashes onto the guys on the floor. And if you do anything more than that, someone's dead. And they're kind of that way. They're kind of that way with their masks. It's like, what is left to do with a mask that you can actually wear and perform in? And they seem to find another way to make somebody's mask look fucking cool. The Japanese folks treat the events like theater. Yeah and no, both. I mean, in a sense, and like they do that with all sports pretty much. So, like they're big in baseball. They do actually very well in baseball. They beat our asses. And it's the same type of crowd. It's very quiet until you hear the crack of the bat and the ball's going out to the wall. Even then, it's not the kind of cheering we do. It doesn't last like 5 minutes of people going nuts and tearing their clothes off. They'll give you a solid 10 seconds on some big move or something like that, and then they sit back down and they're quiet again. Abismi Negro. I do recall the name. I don't have an image in my head, though, of what he looked like. Wow. All right. Well, hey, this is the first time we've tried this. Jay and I were talking the other day, after one of our other streams went off, and then we were just kind of shooting the shit. And I thought to myself, man, this is actually better than some of the stuff we were doing on the stream. And it also, because we're not doing the game show thing, I don't have to worry about, the sound effects and all that stuff. And I can actually just keep the chat open and I can see it in real time. And we got a little bit better interaction that way with you guys. And I think that makes it a better experience for everybody, including us.
Yep.
So look for more of this. WrestleChat. We'll be back with some more of this. I want to do this regularly after Impact shows at this point. It is my...
And if you guys hear it, yeah. If you guys hear anything or see anything that you want to discuss, put it in the chat and we'll talk about it.
Sure. Compartmental, the cheering is quite formal. Yeah, that's a good way of summing it up. Thank you, Hum Along. I like it too. Like I said, I just felt like we were having a great conversation and nobody got to be part of it, and it would have been fun to have that stream. So, and Jay and I will do this shit all the time, realistically. And it's easier for me too. I mean, literally just got to click a button and here we go. I don't have to set up video games. I don't have to, the only thing I did do is put together the video clips from the match that we were going to discuss because it was that fucking good that I needed to.
Yeah.
But I mean, if
us just talking about it wouldn't have done it justice.
It wouldn't. And that's exactly what it is. I mean, there had to be video clips for anyone who hasn't seen it yet to sell it. But my goodness, it's on YouTube, the full hour match. It was Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair. It was that good. Yeah. It was that good. And that's probably how far back I got to go to think of an hour-long match that I thought that highly of.
Sure hasn't been one in recent history.
Did y'all watch the Clash of the Champions that Purist mentioned?
No, I have not got to see it yet.
All right, somebody clue me in. What am I missing here with Purist? Clash of the Champions.
After the
Clash of the Titans. Sorry, I'm thinking Champions.
Yeah.
What was Clash of the Titans? The movie?
Yeah.
Like with the mythology?
But it was but what Chuck's talking about is at the end of the Wednesday show, Purist mentioned a Clash of, I think, was it Titans or Champions? But it was an old. I'm trying to remember now. Damn, I'm going to have to go back and watch the end of the show now to remember. But it was a wrestling program that he had talked about.
Oh, because his microphone kept cutting out all the damn time. I couldn't hear half of what he was saying that night.
Yeah. But obviously Chuck saw it because he said it was really good. So.
All right. Well, Chuck, tell us, what is it? Oh, here we go. What? Hold on a minute. First off, Hum Along's like, whoa, Flair Steamboat good. Dude, watch it. It's on YouTube. It'll be the best hour of wrestling you've seen in 2 decades. WWE versus WCW? All right, somebody has to clue me in. What the fuck are we talking about? Where am I going to find this? On Peacock? Because now I need to see
clue.
I mean, WWE versus WCW never happened. And well, unless we're talking about after they bought him out and brought him in, which we got here. Freebirds was on it. The Fantastics. What?
Really?
Well, then it's nothing to do with the buyout.
No.
It's a video game that has WWE going up against the WCW? Is this like a modded game that somebody created?
I think he said he has it on his.
Sounds like a mod of an Akei game. So yeah, I don't have that obviously, but
I think he's got it on his channel, is what he was saying.
Let me check something out here. Hold on a minute. YouTube is my friend. Clash of the Titans. It's the movie video game. Is there a... Let's go... No, well, hell, there is a video for it under Wrestle Match Classic as the user. WWF versus WCW, Clash of the Titans, full pay-per-view. Let me see something here. Looks like they're opening up with the WrestleMania 6 with the stars up in the. Hold on a minute. I'm probably gonna get my stream ended by YouTube if I stream their stuff, but whatever.
Macho.
Good production, I'll say that right now.
Right. Wow. Richfield, Ohio. Woo!
How long does this thing go? 3 hours. Oh shit! We ain't gonna watch it right now. What the hell? Look at this. Oh,
nice.
Sweet. Look at this. I'm gonna die laughing if they have her in a video game form. Oh, that's smart.
Yep.
Yeah, let's zip ahead a little bit here.
Wow.
I am blown away by the production value.
Right.
Oh, look at these matches. Holy shit. This is good booking.
Oh.
With three, yeah, no lie. The battle of the bodies. I love these 3D effects on the placard cards.
Right.
I'm not sure how I feel about that match, but okay.
It's in a cage.
Yeah, that's a good one. Another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, prime time. I totally agree, man. I'm loving the production. I mean, with all the voiceover stuff, that had to take so long getting all those voice clips in. But it makes it work.
Right.
Let's fast forward a little bit here and see what's going on. right, let's pick him now. Who's going to win this? I'm going Rock and Roll Express.
I got to go with the Rockers.
All right. Let's scroll here a little bit. There's the hot tag. Shoulders are down, and a save is made. Good camera angles. Jim Ross.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
Canola Jesse and Jim Ross calling the action. Guys, let me just say right now, if you have never done video editing, this 3-hour video would have taken at least 24 hours to make. And I don't mean like he started it one day and got it done the next. I mean literally 24 hours.
Yeah, it usually takes me 2-3 hours to do my 1 hour videos I've been putting out. So,
And that's not cutting in Gorilla Monsoon, Jim Ross, Howard Finkel. I mean, that is all a whole other world of time.
right.
Ooh, I almost lost. I love these double teams. Oh, come on, man. That was my win. This is really good. Even the gameplay, I mean, obviously you got two guys playing.
Right.
Ah,
Oh,
piss up a rope.
yeah. Oh, shit.
So he's basically doing the same thing that I've been doing with the green screen. But
Right.
he's shooting each of them individually.
And then editing it together.
Layering them, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, my 24 hours is bullshit. Now we're up to at least 72. I remember.
That's insane. Yeah. Prime time's right. These are like perfect dream matches.
Yeah, these calls are very, very good.
Muda,
Yeah, who was he going against? I remember that.
Superfly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. What happened to his entrance? Jimmy doesn't get an entrance? What the hell is that? Damn.
That was the green mist.
I wanted my super fly. All right. Well, it's going to probably be Muda, but I'm going with Snuka. That's my man.
Oh man,
this would have been a really good
that's a
match.
hard one. Yeah.
Who you going with, Jay? Come on, while we're young.
I gotta go. I gotta go with Superfly also on this one.
Going for the block. Moonsault. Damn it. Oh for 2.
Oh shit, we got Virgil.
This is insane. All right, who do we like in this one?
I'll go with Boss Man and Akeem.
I'm taking the natural disasters because I feel like I have to. Oh, wait. Oh, I thought they were going against the natural disasters. Who are we going up against?
Looks like Piper.
No, I think it's the Fantastics.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm going with Boss Man too. That he ain't gonna lose to the Fantastics. Yeah, sounds like it.
Yep, they must have won. Yep.
Let's see what happened here. Caught him in midair with the spine buster.
Oh, that was it.
That's what happens when you get hit with a big kibosh. Barry?
Yeah, I would say so. Oh, damn.
Boy, how come nobody else getting any entrance time?
Because I think this is a
Kendall
squash match.
Kendall Windham. I think it was Kendall Windham, and I don't know who the other one was.
Dick Burnock, maybe?
Could have been.
The model.
All right, enough of that. Let's move on. Dr. Death against Bam
Dr.
Bam
Death.
Bigelow. I'm going with Bam Bam.
I'll go with Dr. Death.
Oh, Dr. Death got it. That evens us up at one apiece.
Got that slow-mo going.
Yeah.
Terry Funk.
How long that might have been Tim Horner. I'm not sure. A slam match. Andre versus Abdullah. Doom. And does not look at all like woman, though. Well, I would be booking the Powers of Pain. Who you want, Jay?
I think Doom.
Wait a minute. Went too far. Chuck, that was Ron Simmons and Butch Reed.
Yeah.
They didn't wear the mask very long, maybe a month or so. And as I recall, they took them off themselves.
Right. Ooh. Oh, sure.
Hey, I'd take the 2-1 lead. Don't hate the player. Don't hate the booker. Hate the game. Bobby. My goodness, this is some editing.
I'll go with the Dream Team. I always like them together. It doesn't matter.
Luscious Johnny. Boy, that looks good. Ooh, the original Midnight Express. Well, he's not carrying a phone. Who you got? You got the Dream Team?
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with them, too. I can't imagine Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose being booked to go over the Dream Team. If it was Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane, or even Bobby Eaton and Dennis Condrey, then I might rethink it.
Right.
Yeah, we got that right. How did
Yep.
it end? Figure 4.
Figure 4.
No, it wasn't a figure 4. He's got the tights. Left.
Yep.
Only one guy in the whole friggin' building that didn't see the tights.
And that was the one that counted.
Dangerously Factor. Damn, was an ass whooping.
WCW better do something. Yeah.
It's my other number 1. Against Barry? No. My 2 number 1 picks are going to go head to head?
Oh, is that JJ?
Yeah. Oh, man. My all-time 2 favorite wrestlers are locking up here. Oh,
Decisions.
I know. I'm going with Barry because he has JJ.
All right, I'll take Tito.
I'd love Tito's flying forearm, man. He connected with that thing and it looks so good. Let me just say, never get eggnog with almond milk. It is such a cock tease.
Nice reversals.
Runs right through him. They actually did wrestle one time, and I forget which promotion. And I think you can find it on YouTube. Wasn't quite as good as I would expect it to be, but it wasn't bad either. And, you know, that's one of the big things we forgot to talk about with Impact and why they're better than everybody else, in my opinion. You don't have to have a heel and a baby face. As a matter of fact, you probably have it. It's like almost a 50-50. There are so many babyface versus babyface matches that end up with, you know, respect shown during the match and all that stuff. And it's still, I mean, look at that match. There was no heel in that match.
Nope.
Don't need it. Now, I tend to think there might be something in that glove.
Don't you tap.
He's got
Yes.
to turn it
Yeah,
over,
turn
and he
it over.
does. Wyndham's got to release it, otherwise he's going to lose the leg. Oh, small package attempt. The claw is on. It's over. Oh, Dino's
No,
not done
it's
yet.
not.
Prime time's in my camp. He's going.
No one home.
Prime time, I don't remember. PMFL. Oh, he's got his figure four on. JJ, get up on the apron and do your shit. I called it.
There he is.
Rick Martel's going to come
Martel
down
coming
and
out.
get involved against his former tag team partner. He caught the forearm, bitch. Santana says, eat a bag of dicks. Uh-oh, superplex. Gonna get daddy to win. Oh! 2 and 3, and that's another one for me. 3-1 lead.
Only because of some chicanery.
Cruising on a Sunday afternoon. Ah, there they are.
That's a pretty respectable Jim Cornette.
Missing his glasses. Stan Lane having seizures. Still love this music. What is this? FDR's coming out? U.S. team. Tag team champions.
Against.
Oh, now that is not a very good call. That's pretty rough.
I'm going with the Bushwhackers.
You're about to go down 4-1. Midnight Express.
That's fine. I don't care. I'll support my boys. Lick his face.
Sardines. Uh-oh, one of the Bushwhackers got distracted. Flapjack for the win. Boom. I believe that's 4-1.
Yeah.
Becoming an unsurmountable lead. Harley Race and the JYD. We've already seen that in real life. Well, technically, yes, we did. Good job on the rope.
Yeah.
Who do you want?
I'll take Harley.
I was going to take Harley too, but I'll give him to you. I'll take JYD.
Oh, we got wood.
You're going under the table, baby, for the plunder. There we go. Now I'm about to get screwed. That gummit, ref. Four to two. Yeah, we're not even halfway through this bitch. Abdullah the Butcher against Andre. Is it a slam match? Is that what I...
Oh, turnbuckle is exposed.
Well, we can talk about his hep C. He get choked before. Nice.
Oh, the ref's down. Oh.
No, what a sound. Did we both take Andre, by the way? I don't remember if we chose.
I don't think we chose it. Just got into the match and we were like, oh.
I'll take Andre. Just in the nick of time.
That was it.
Slam match.
Oh.
Bye, Gary. Earhart. All right, we're gonna have to save this for another night, man. It's only 1 hour out of the 3, and that's skipping. we will come back and revisit this at a later point in time because I actually want to see how this thing turns out.
No kidding.
Somebody had way too much time on their hands. I mean, even the matches are all choreographed and edited. I mean, shit, my 72 hours is gone. Now we're that's probably a full last week and a half to 2 weeks of shooting footage, chopping it up, green screen, audio clips. I mean, it better be a labor of love. Can't make a nickel off of that thing. It's all copyrighted out the ass. Wow. Well, thank you everyone for joining us here for our first ever WrestleChat. We'll definitely be doing this some more. Like I said, it's real simple for me just to jump on and hit play and just kind of go with it, and there we go. So make sure you check out JRock73. He's got his channel there with his WCW What If kind of thing going on. And of course, we're still hanging and banging here doing the thing we did an Impact show earlier today. If you didn't see it, it was pretty damn good too. I like the way almost every match. I will let you in on a little secret. There was supposed to be a run-in at the end of the main event, and it didn't fucking happen. only thing that went wrong. I was ready to end with a bang, and it's like, where's my running? Where's my running? I'm getting fucked. It just reminded me one of my all-time favorite wrestling stories, and I can hardly tell it without cracking up. Back in the whole rise and fall of ECW, and Paul Heyman is sitting in there telling what was happening. Back when Shane Douglas wins the NWA World Title and merges with the ECW title, and he's telling the story about, and I forget who the guy was that was in charge of the NWA at the time, but they're there on the ECW arena. And him and Heyman are both like kind of sitting in the audience watching the match. And Shane goes and cuts the very famous promo about, and Ricky Steamboat, and you can all kiss my ass. I will not be handed the title from a company that died, R.I.P. 20 years ago. And he throws the belt down, and Paul's telling the story. Yeah. And then we'll say it was the guy's name was Joe Schmo, whatever. And Joe's looking at me, and he's like, "Hey, what is he doing? He's pissing on the belt. He's pissing on the belt. No, it's okay. It's okay. Just watch. It's okay." Oh my God. Oh, Heyman's freaking classic.
I just watched that promo probably about 3 weeks ago.
Never gets old. Never gets old. Oh my goodness. Oh. All right, everybody. We gotta go home. We gotta get up out of here. Yeah. We'll be back and do some more of this wrestle chat for you guys. It'll be at least once a week, probably a couple times a week, because it's so damn easy to do.
Right.
And takes no scripting, takes no preparation whatsoever. Just rock and roll and take it to the hole. All right. Say goodnight, Jay.
Good night, Jay.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time right here with some more Wrestle Chat. See you then. Bye.